Hi, Angus from Knowledge Mappers here again, and in this video we're going to walk you through the Countries of the World Research Atlas Geographic Layout Map. A couple of things before we start. Point out this demonstration's in the Mine Manager software environment. This is Mine Manager 15, but if you check the product page on the website you'll see what alternative file formats the map may be available in. In terms of the demonstration, I'm going to walk you through the content of the map, the branch content. We'll look at the index marker groups that come with the map and how they are used, and finally we'll touch on a couple of other maps related complementary maps that you can be used in conjunction with this one. So getting stuck in then, this is the Countries of the World Research Atlas Geographic Layout Map. So this is a definitive research atlas map of countries of the world as defined by ISO 3166 Part 1, the international standard, and arranged by UN-defined macro-geographical regions and sub-regions. So Europe, Asia, Africa, Americas, etc. With over 5,500 branches hyperlinked to a range of free websites with definitive and comprehensive information about the country, including the BBC, CIA and Wikipedia, this map is the ultimate atlas resource for anybody who researches countries and country-based information on a regular basis. So, well as enabling faster information discovery, the map provides the basic geographic framework for users to add their newly discovered information to, as notes or sub-branches, etc., saving them hours in the process. Associated text marker and flag icon groups based in the regions, sub-regions and countries enable the country branches to be geofiltered accordingly. They also enable users to geotag and of course geofilter branches in any existing map by simply copying and adding them to the marker index. But I'll show you all the marker stuff in a wee while. First of all, I want to get into the actual content of the map. So let's zoom in a wee bit. Let's get to 100%. First point out, as with all our maps, the central topic has a topic note attached to it, which is metadata describing the map and everything about it. There is also a hyperlink here through to the product page on the KnowledgeMappers.com website, so you always know where it came from. Getting up to there's our legend bar there. I already pointed out the whole point of this map as a geographic layout is that the regions and sub-regions appear roughly where you would expect them to appear on a world atlas, but a world map, Mercator projection, a world map. So America over here on the left hand side, Europe, Asia over here on the right, Europe at the top, Australia at the bottom. Not wishing to cause offence to anybody in Australia or anything like that, but that's just the way that's just the way it is. So getting on to the content here then, our legend bar shows we have the region, main branch is the region, sub-branches are the sub-regions. So Europe here, Northern Europe, Western Europe, Eastern Europe, Southern Europe, etc. And then we get on to the country branch. So as with all our atlas maps with the country, then we have standard content. And that's the whole point. It is standard content from the international standards. So we have the ISO 3166 Part 1, the official short name of the country in English, followed in brackets by the 2-character code, 3-character code, then 3-letter code, then finally, 3-number code, then finally the country long name in English. Sometimes the long name is the same as the short name, sometimes the long name is actually longer. The colour denotes the type of country. Most are independent sovereign states, some however are dependent states, overseas territories, etc. The crucial thing is they have a dependency on another country, and within that there will be a note, probably a link to an article of Wikipedia or whatever telling you about that dependency. And you'll see there's tags here as well. The different branches are tagged by various things, but we'll get into that in a wee while further on in this demonstration. So let's really get into the content then. So I particularly want to navigate through to find, we'll look at Afghanistan here, country that everybody I think knows something about. So this is a research atlas in contrast to a template atlas. So with a template atlas, you use that, map as a structure, a bit of basic information, or links to basic information sources, but the rest is a structure for you to add stuff to. The point of a research map is for deep research, for finding definitive information online about a subject and then being able to do something with that, synthesize that information to kind of phrase to within the map, to do stuff, add it as branches, text notes or whatever. Basically organize it yourself as the way you see fit in your own way, as you would normally be doing research. So as you can see, in Afghanistan we have right now in our research map, we've got 16 links through to web resources about the country. The branch itself, as with our other maps, is linked through to the country page on Wikipedia, a great source, great starter for 10 starting points. Stuff. Point out that on the top right hand corner of the country page of Wikipedia we have this fact box which has got all the basic fact stuff, so as a handy quick reference that's where to look for data. But obviously that's where it is, but we've got all these other links here as well, and as you get into it yourself and use this map, make this map work for you, then if you've got particular information sources, then you can change the links on the main branch or add your own or whatever. Right, so I'm going to walk you through the different links we've got, content and different links we've got. So first of all we have the BBC News profile page. Well, a micro website really. There's different things, facts, leaders, media, timeline, picture library as well and stuff like that. So all a good resource, a good range of stuff, and all pretty contemporary, from the BBC. So it's all kind of good stuff as you'd expect from the BBC. Also a link through to the weather page on BBC. Some, not in every instance, but in some cases, and indeed this case, you might have a link through to the actual live weather report, weather pages from on the BBC weather microsite as well. Moving on, we have the American CIA, Central Intelligence Agency. The premier site here really is the CIA World Factbook online. So it's got a lot of information, as you can see in these different sections. Just click in them and they'll expand out. Now there's lots of information online. It's kind of interchangeable and they cross-reference each other. So Wikipedia will cite the World Factbook as a source of lots of it information. So they are kind of cross-referenced in that way. But sometimes Wikipedia doesn't take everything, whatever. So what I would point out, a really good thing about the CIA World Factbook is it's got usually a lot of economic data about the country. Usually the latest economic data about the country. Here's a hell of a lot of stuff here. As we scroll down the page, this is all just economic stuff. So if you're doing research for business, for perhaps researching overseas markets, new markets, overseas markets, whatever, then I would heartily recommend the CIA World Factbook as a good place to start. Also, the CIA maintain a website with the chiefs of state and cabinet members as well. So, a good list of information which you're not going to really get easily anywhere else. Well, certainly not all countries in the one place. And there's also we have a map library. It's not very comprehensive and not every country is actually represented, but they might actually have something in there that you could use. Moving on, now country codes here. Now this, unfortunately, since we made this map a few months ago, then this is illustrates the perils of using web resources. This was originally a really handy little, obviously a privately made site But really a handy little list of, on a single page, lots of the official codes for the country, international dialing codes and civil aviation codes and all sorts of stuff, as well as just the basic country reference codes in the ISO standard and stuff like that. However, it seems to have disappeared in the interim. It may have come back, so we've left the link in there, but just be warned. Moving on then swiftly. The GeoHack is actually a sort of back end of Wikipedia, so the Wikipedia country page or whatever, and it's a kind of a developer's resource really, but it may be of some use to other people as well. But it's it's listing digital mapping, global mapping resources, sources of global mapping data for the country as well, with links through to it as well. So OpenStreetMap, Google Maps, Bing Maps, etc. But there's other ones as well. So if you're developing geo stuff, then this is all good information as well, really. This is a Wikipedia, this is a Wiki Tools project, or certainly started off that way. So it's got an ongoing developer community behind it. On talking of maps, then here just a straightforward link through to the country on Google Maps. It's based on a search or whatever, so as you can see in the bar up here, so that's why it gets highlighted in Google Maps. But here we are, we're just in the Google Maps window, so it's all good stuff. So on a familiar environment as well, so that'll give you basic mapping stuff. Moving on, this is a really fantastic resource. This is the International Government Information Library based in the University of Colorado. Now these guys, as I have discovered, they're actually funded by the United Nations, and their job is to precisely do that, a government information library, an information library about government. So they maintain a list of all these links about the country from around the world. So various sort of country profiles, loads of people produce country profiles, various agencies, UN, whatever, but countries as well. So there's the US, United Kingdom Foreign and Commonwealth Office about Afghanistan, or US Department of State, United Nations Statistic Division, etc. So all a good source of stuff, but crucially other things as well. So here's the list of links through to the actual government pages themselves. Now obviously they're going to be probably will be in native language or whatever, but it's a good starting point. Again, I mean, there's for every country there's 100+ links here or whatever, so a fantastic resource to mine. Moving on finally to Wikipedia or Wiki projects. There's actually a whole range of stuff on various Wiki projects, country-based stuff. So as I said, we do have the country page in Wikipedia, but every country also has a portal. Let me just give a bit more of the screen. So loads of stuff, selected articles in the news, things to do, etc, etc. So a really good useful central jumping off point to lots of other things, and again kind of contemporary as well to a certain extent, culture, etc. There's also an index of country-related articles on Wikipedia. So, it's just sorted alphabetically, so you've got a bit waiting through to do, but again, loads of stuff there. Wikimedia Commons has loads of image resources, so, again, if you're looking for pictures, funnily enough, most of them military, but, you get the idea for countries. So, if you're looking for imagery for about a country, really great place to come. Wikimedia Commons lots of stuff. So unlike the CIA Atlas library, this is a lot more comprehensive because it contains the images used in the various Wikipedia articles as well, and there's maps and historic maps and loads of stuff. A real kind of a smorgasbord, really. So again, you just got to weed through it and see what's there, but you never know what you might discover, but it's a good central place to go. And finally, on Wikipedia, or Wiki projects, we have Wiki Voyage, which is a relatively new wiki project, which is looking more at kind of contemporary travel guidey angle on the country. So, funnily enough, travelling to Afghanistan is extremely dangerous and emphatically warned against for some unknown reason. So, it's a good source of contemporary stuff. If you're travelling there for business, for example, or whatever, it's much more relevant for travel than the sort of standard sort of encyclopedia type thing on Wikipedia, the Wikipedia country page, whatever. And just one final word on the Wikipedia stuff. I mean, the beauty or the strength of Wikipedia is the crowdsource element of the information. So if there's stuff in there that's wrong, you find out it's wrong, or you disagree with, or there's not stuff there that you would like to put there and understand, then it's a great way of contribute, get involved, become a Wikipedia editor, and contribute to Wikipedia for the benefit of everybody, for yourself, because your information will be up there, but then everybody else benefits as well. So that's my advert for Wikipedia over with, but just get involved. So, I mean, that really concludes on the content of the map. I mean, it's the same for every country. So, briefly, we'll talk about the indexes as well. I mean, this is really touched on much more is explained much more comprehensively in the template Atlas product pages, because that's more what you would probably use these for, but as this is a bit research, but as explained, all our branches, all our countries are tagged, well, as you can see, I was about to say, but as you can't see, but again, in My Manager you can turn the tags on or off, or they're either all on or all off. So everything, all our branches are tagged with several marker groups that we've created. So we have the UN region and the UN sub-region, name and the number. So everything's tagged with that of relevance. And then the countries themselves, we've got a tag for each of them. So that's a country short name and the various code elements, and you can see there. Also, the dependent territories are also tagged by the country they are dependent on as well, and we'll see how that can be important. But before I do, one final point is the country flag icons here. We've created a group with flag icons in it. So as it stands, the country branches do have flags attached to them, but these are embedded topic images. So you can change the size of them, you can change the layout, top, bottom, side, whatever. And My Manager, icons are a very kind of specific thing. Unfortunately, they always render at the same size, irrespective of the size of the source file. So, when you're zoomed out a bit, they get less legible, less indicative, whatever. So perhaps you'd want to stick with these. But other circumstances, they would be it would be what you want to use. So it is very much horses for courses, really. But they're there. It's an option for you to use. So we've got these various marker groups. How can we use them? So it's all about filtering, the power of the filter. So quickly show power filter here. So here's a scenario. You're a sales manager or you're new territory of Europe, Africa and the Middle East. So there's Europe, there's Africa. Middle East is not a region, it's a sub-region, and in UN speak it is not called the Middle East, it's called Western Asia. So let's show matching topics there. So here we have our region, our map with Europe, Africa and fucking Middle East, and now there we have it, our map here. So here we have arranged by Europe, Africa, Middle East, whatever. You know, it's a big old map. So 5,000 branches, whatever. So it's doing a lot. Let's so we can work with the map as it is, or we can send topics to a new link map. Doing a lot of work, working its way through several thousand branches. So it's certainly having to think about it. But it's sending these to a new linked map, which will contain just the branches of the countries you've filtered on. There we go. As I said, it's a lot to think about. But there you have it. So you can save that as a new map and work with it there. Point out that the when you do that, turn it to a new linked map, the tags go with it, so they're all there. But we're not going to work with the map there. But it shows you the power of the filter. Alternatively, another filter is the, as I said, the countries were tagged by country themselves, and dependent countries were tagged with the country they are dependent on. So we've removed the filter. Let's do a power filter, or let's remove the power filter. We've got there Europe, Africa and Western Asia, and let's look at United Kingdom. Let's find the remains of the British Empire. So again, it's having a think about it. It's working its way through several thousand maps, several thousand branches. Should have made a cup of tea at this point in the proceedings. There we have it. So there is the United Kingdom there, but it's also got the dependent territories, as I said, Guernsey, Isle of Man, Jersey, Gibraltar. But as we move around the world, we'll see that actually just about every continent there's a little outpost of the British Empire somewhere. So that's the power of the filtering. And just one last thing to point out, and obviously that the marker groups themselves can be copied easily between maps. And there you go. So that could be a new map, but also be an existing map, whatever. So you just copy the marker group to the new map, and that becomes the tag within the new map, tag group within the new map. So if suddenly ability to geotag and geofilter and all that sort of stuff. So that concludes a sort of look at the Country of the World Atlas Research Atlas Geographic layout. We'll now have a quick look at a couple of other maps, related maps. With our atlases, there's two flavours, or there's two variables really. Atlas or research or template, A to Z geographic layout, as we've just seen, or alternatively an A to Z layout. So here we see same data, but just all the countries in a A to Z layout. Now the tags are still attached, so we can still do the Europe, Africa, Middle East thing, filtering, whatever, but it's just a different way of horses for courses really. Sometimes the A to Z is more useful, sometimes the geographic layout is more useful, but it gives you the option. And finally we've got template atlases. So these are, instead of the research atlas, which has got all these links, deep links to information sources, then we just have straight away, no single branch without all the links, whatever. So and this is a lot easier, obviously a lot quicker to filter whatever and work with, because it's got a lot less information, a lot less branches in it to work with. So templates and template atlases are also available on the website. You can mix and match whatever, it's cheaper. There's discounts when you buy them in a bundle together, whatever. Horses for courses, as I said. Finally, point out that all this hitherto it's all been in the Mind Manager environment, digital mind mapping software environment. Here to show that we can also have things in the Adobe Acrobat environment. Here in the Adobe Acrobat file, most of our maps are available as Adobe Acrobat files at very least. They're viewable just within Adobe Acrobat Viewer, which has as standard has a plugin that will be able to look at Mind Manager maps as interactive maps, so we can expand the branches, whatever, see the data. There's our long list of stuff, and we just click on it and we're through to the hyperlinks as before. So we can you can share the maps with colleagues that don't have Mind Manager installed, or you have mind mapping software. Also, if you're a Mind Manager user or whatever, just remind you that you can use our maps, create your own maps from our maps, using our maps as a framework, whatever, and then publish them as PDF maps, which you can then share with colleagues who don't have it. And it's quite attractive, quite a good way of getting information. And what I really like about it is the fact that there you go, there's over 5,000 hyperlinks, all within a single page. Think how long that would be on a standard A4, how many pages that would be in a standard A4 document. Anyway, that kind of concludes our demonstration of our Geographic Atlas, Geographic Country of the World Research Atlas Geographic Layout. Hope you've got something from it. I have certainly had a blast, and we'll see you again next time. Thank you very much.